Hopefully everyone was able to hear me when I asked for favorite snacks. I believe so because of my responses, but safety check. Sorry for everyone's ears bleeding if they were bleeding. There we go. Perfect. That sets the tone very well. So yes, Dead Shell Creep, you did that yourself. The grandma in the story was the downfall. Always a grandmother, always a downfall. Oh, gotta love some yummy nachos. A classic is butter and toast with jam. I was the only one who died that night. At least I went out a hero. Tis true. You were the only one. You did go out a hero. I think I got turned into a conjoined Siamese twin. Is that conjoined twin? Do I even have to say Siamese? I think so. And then Team Puffins got locked in a crate and became a god for life. For life. We need that echo of RuPaul saying, "For your life." It'll be a soundbite eventually. So, with the time we have... Oh, I thought we were almost ready. It was a blessing and a curse of my story end. 'Tis true. 'Tis true. Both a blessing and a curse. One cannot get too caught up in the details after all. You both got trapped for life, but you guys live like Harry Potter. The moral of the story is to always choose 5 over 4. That is the moral of the story. One must remember to always choose 5 over 4. Oh. Got to stretch. My hand kind of locked. Oh. The more of the hydration. Okay. So. Okay, let's see. I'm just waiting on one thing and we shall start. It'll be a fun little thing before we close out the night. Again, if there be anyone new in the stream. You are part of our part of our evening. Well played. Okay, so let's see. I call out Highland Cal volunteers as tribute. Indeed. Is there anyone else in the stream? Can I have all my chat give me a whoop whoop so I can select one at random? Ah. Whoop whoop. Let it be Death Shall Creep. Yes. A good time to remember Sora's casual reminder that everyone loves and respects you. Please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated with water or anything else. We're almost... the moment is almost upon us. I'm just waiting for one thing to load. Eureka, it's done. Perfect. Okay. Perfect, as they say. Alright. Huh? Here we go. There we go. Hopefully it's not too overbearing, but whoop whoop, we should see the fate of a new victim. Indeed, indeed. If there are any here tonight. Again. Anyone new in the stream other than Team Puffins or Death Shall Creep? Want to partake in a twisted tale? Otherwise, I shall read something classic. But the fate of a new victim, intertwined with thy old tale, takes a turn down memory lane. Indeed, indeed. 'Tis how it goes sometimes. Oh my god, Demonoid Fissure in the stream. Demonoid Fissure, I choose you as tribute. For you have spoken the words. Everyone else is hanging out. And I cannot blame them for hanging out. No. I mean, that wasn't an That was a no. You have been selected as tribute. But we believe in you. You can be a survivor. He gonna make it. Keep on surviving. How shall I do your bidding? Excellent. Fresh blood. Alright. Here we go. I'm going to give you... Okay. I'm going to watch YouTube now. Alright, Yen boy. Hope you have fun doing watching of the YouTube. Next time, I challenge you to be a part of my story. If you have the time, of course. Oh, snaps. It's about to get intense. Indeed. Alright. As we bid Yen Boy a farewell, where shall I perish? For the master. Okay, here we go. This is where it gets good. Allow me 1 second. Alright, Demonoid Fissure. I ask you to choose a number between I ask you I ask you to choose. I can't count. Book my life. I shall choose for you. So, hold on as I get this tail twisted, as they say. Here we go. That is what. Okay, I found what I was looking for. As I get all crazed. Alright. So, Demonoid Fissure, I present to you a tale unlike any other. For you, I present to you the tale of of a certain warning of purple peanut butter. Don't go in the basement, Demonoid Fissure. Your aunt warns you as to start a game of hide and seek with your two horrible cousins. Do you listen? No way. But while you're hiding in the basement, your stomach grumbles and growls. You open an old refrigerator and find a jar of purple peanut butter and a stale chocolate cake. Which should you eat? Watch out. A small taste of one of these foods could cause big trouble. You may never be the same again. You're in control of this scary adventure. You decide what will happen and how terrifying the scares will be. So take a long, deep breath. Cross your fingers and prepare to give yourself goosebumps. Stale chocolate cake. Fat kids love cake. Indeed. You can't believe your parents did this to you, Demonoid Fissure. Your mom and dad are off to Europe on a business trip. You have to spend the summer in Fiskville with your Aunt Fiona and Uncle Harvey, which means spending the summer with your cousins Barney and Dora, which means a summer of torture. Barney's a year older than you and a bully. Dora's a year younger and a whiny pest. That's what you had in mind for your summer vacation. You stare glumly out the car window as your aunt and uncle drive home from the airport, and Fiona turns around in front seat and beams at you. Barney and Dora can't wait till we bring you home, she squeals. I'll bet you think. Bad news, Barney can't wait to pound me into the ground. Dora, the drag, can't wait to rope me into playing with her dolls. Uncle Harvey pulls the car into a driveway. You stare at the house. It's 2 stories high and run down. The lawn is choked with weeds. The front steps are cracked and crumbling. Not very promising. At least the creepy cousins aren't around, you think. Maybe you sneak off before they know you're here. Then a loud bang makes you nearly jump out of your skin. Barney runs out the front door, letting it slam behind him. You slowly step out of the car. Barney's pudgy face breaks into a mean grin under his thick blonde hair. Even though he's only a year older than you, he's twice your size. While your aunt and uncle unload the car, he punches you on the arm. Hard. Hi, wimp. He snarls. Dora skips around the side of the house, holding her obnoxious orange cat, Puff. Dora's dark hair hangs in 2 long braids over her shoulders. She eyes you with a smirk, then giggles. Puff hisses at you. What a summer, you think, Demonoid Fissure. Maybe you can spend your entire vacation upstairs in your room. But no. We've been waiting for you, Barney says. Let's play hide and seek. Oh no, you think, Demonoid Fissure. It's starting. It's nice to see you already having fun. Your Aunt Fiona gushes. Your uncle and I have to go back to work at the university. I'll take your suitcase upstairs for you. No, really, you protest. I don't mind. Nonsense, Uncle Harvey responds. You kids go on and play. There's just one thing. It's very important. You can play anywhere you want, but don't go in the basement. Why can't we go in the basement? Demonoid Fissure asks. We haven't cleaned it out since we moved in, Aunt Fiona tells you. The people who owned the house before us were very strange. We don't know what's down there. It could be dangerous. Let's get started, Barney commands when his parents have gone inside. You remember the hide-and-seek rules? You remember, you sigh. Who could forget? Whoever it is, whoever is it gets to pound anyone who catches, Barney reminds you. Fine, you say. You'll go first. Sorry, Barney replies. It's my house, and I'll be it to start. Now go hide while I count to 100. He laughs as he waves his fist in your face. Then he shuts his eyes. 1, Barney counts. 2, 3, 4, 27, 28, 50. As usual, your cousin is cheating. You'll have to find a place to hide fast. But where? Dora drops Puff and runs around to the back of the house. You want to stay as far away from her as possible. You glance around and tiptoe into the house. You find yourself in a small living room crowded with furniture. You don't have much time. Where can you hide? You dodge around a couple of chairs. Then you head for a hallway that leads to the kitchen. 70, Barney shouts from outside. 81, 86. You spot a doorway to the right of the refrigerator. You pull the door open. Steep, splintery steps lead down into a dark, musty-smelling room. Must be the way to the basement. But your aunt and uncle warned you to stay out of it. 93, Barney shouts. Quick, make a decision. Should you forget about your aunt and uncle's warning and hide in the basement? Or do you find somewhere else to hide? What is your decision, Demonoid Fissure? Down into the depths of the basement? Or perhaps another hiding spot? The choice is yours. What? Basement has candy. Go to the basement because the food might be there. Indeed, down to the basement we go. You glance around quickly to make sure no one is watching. Then you push open the basement door and start down. The stairs are old. They creak with every step you take. Cobwebs brush your face. What could be down here that's so dangerous, you wonder? You reach the bottom of the stairs. The floor is so dusty, it looks as if it hasn't been cleaned in 100 years. Feeble daylight filters through a big, filthy window at the back of the room. You start to explore. But there's nothing much to see. Mostly old, dusty, worn furniture, old couches, old chairs, an old mattress, an old refrigerator, and stove, both covered with rust. Sit in one corner. Nothing dangerous, nothing even interesting. But being down here is better than getting pounded by Barney. You sit in one of the old armchairs and wait. Sooner or later, Barney and Dora will get tired of the game. Soon it will be safe to go back upstairs. There's only one problem. A big problem. Your problem is that you're hungry. The plane ride to Fiskville was a long one. All you had to eat was an airline snack of peanuts and a soda. And now you realize that you're starving. Your stomach is growling so loudly you're almost afraid Barney and Dora will hear it. You glance around the basement again. Maybe there are some cans of food. But no. The only shelves contain old carpenter's tools. The old cabinets are full of torn and dirty sheets and towels. You really don't want to go back upstairs. Not yet. Not with Barney, the bully, and drippy Dora waiting for you. What about the old refrigerator? You see that it's plugged in. Maybe there's something to eat inside. Try not to get your hopes up too high. You approach the refrigerator. The door seems stuck, but you pull hard and it pops open. You spot 2 containers way in the back. You bend down to inspect them and gasp! Something in the refrigerator smells great. It smells so good your mouth starts watering. You were hungry before, but now you're ravenous. Whatever is giving off the smell must be the best tasting food in the world. You pull out the 2 containers and examine them. One is a small jar. At the bottom of the jar is a glob of disgusting looking purple goop. The other container is a white bakery box with a label that says Effie's Bakery, Midvale, in fancy writing. Inside the box is a thick slab of chocolate cake. You lean down and sniff. To your surprise, the delicious aroma is coming from the purple goop. It smells like a combination of the best peanut butter and jelly in the world, with chocolate on top. The cake doesn't have any smell at all. Your stomach growls again. Which will you eat? The wonderful smelling purple goop or the chocolate cake? The choice is yours, Death Shall Creep. Chocolate cake, purple goop. I await your decision. The chocolate cake. Good, good. Excellent. You decide to taste the cake. The purple peanut butter looks too weird. You're so hungry your mouth waters when you take a big bite of the cake. The frosting is hard, the cake is crumbly, and there's a funny aftertaste. You've definitely had better. But chocolate is chocolate. Besides, you're starving. Your mouth is open for another bite when you hear your aunt calling your name. Uh-oh. Your aunt's still home. You don't want to get caught in the basement. What can you do? Your eyes dart around the basement, searching for a way out. The basement window. You hurry across the room and scramble onto the back of the sofa. By standing on your tiptoes, you can just reach the grimy window sill. You hoist yourself up. Luckily, the window is open. You slither through, flopping onto the grass. Great! No one will ever know you were in the basement. Problem solved. But then you roll over onto your back and face a new problem. Your big, mean, obnoxious cousin is looming over you. Found you, Barney exclaims. Now I get to pound you. You leap to your feet, but it's too late. Barney grabs you by your t-shirt. Let me go, you shout, but it's no use. Barney has always been the meanest bully you've ever known. For years you've dreamed of being able to beat him up. What's the matter, wimp? Barney taunts. Afraid of me? No, you exclaim. You wish you meant it. Barney punches you in the shoulder. You know it will make things worse, but you punch back. To your surprise, Barney lets go of your t-shirt. He stumbles backward a few steps. Ow, he cries. I didn't know you could hit that hard. Neither did you. This could come in handy. You give Barney a karate chop in the arm. Stop it, he cries. He starts to run. You can't believe it. Barney's running away from you. Maybe this visit will be different, you think. You figure it's safe to go back to the house. Barney probably won't bug you anymore. You take 2 steps and you hear a weird ripping sound. Then you trip and fall over. What happened? You sit up and glance down at your feet. No wonder you tripped. Your toes have burst through the front of your sneakers. You yank off what's left of your sneakers. You wiggle your squished toes. You've heard of outgrowing shoes, but you never knew it could happen so fast. You hurry into the house to find new shoes. You pass through the kitchen where your aunt is packing her briefcase for work. Why are you barefoot? She asks. I think my shoes shrank, you answer. You show her the ripped sneakers. Perhaps you're just having a growth spurt, she offers. You look a little taller. Up in your room, you study yourself in the mirror. You do look bigger, maybe even a couple of inches taller than you were yesterday. Your shoes are all too short. You have to borrow an old, stinky pair of Uncle Harvey's sneakers. They're a little too big for you, but they're comfortable. You're just tying the shoelaces when Dora sticks her head inside your room. I saw you in the basement, she announces. And I'm telling. I know you were down there, Dora continues in her whiny voice. If you want to play, and if you won't play Tea Party with me, I'll tell. Great, you think. I've been here less than a day and I'm going to get in trouble already. Dora's such a pain. I don't want to play Tea Party, you shout. Wow, you think. Was that me? Can't believe how loud your voice has become. Dora's eyes grow big. She actually looks afraid. You better not squeal on me, you command. Okay, Dora says. I won't tell anybody you were in the basement. She hurries down the hall. Getting bigger is great, you think. Anything that makes both Barney and Dora stop bothering you is fantastic. This growth spurt happened at just the right time. Now that you've got your cousins off your back, you decide to explore the neighborhood. As you leave the house, you realize that Uncle Harvey's shoes fit really well. Too well. They aren't big anymore. Weird, you think. You must still be growing. You push the thought out of your mind. You notice some kids playing baseball in an empty field across the street. You jog over to them. Then you hear, "Get out of here, shrimp." Barney is glaring at you from center field. You stand up to Barney and join the game, or do you try to avoid him? The choice is yours, Demonoid Fezzer. Always down for obesity. How the hell can I slither through when my fat ass eat cake? That's right. Shut up, Barney. But that's another thing for another day. Indeed. Do you stand up to Barney or try to avoid him, Demonoid Fezzer? The choice is yours. This is spooky. Growth spurt. Hell yeah. Stand up to him. Indeed. You glare across the ball field at Barney. You aren't going to let him keep you from joining the game. You're in luck. You won't have to fight him. Wait a minute, Barney, says a chubby kid with blonde hair. This new kid isn't a shrimp. Come on, he tells you. You could be on our team. You stick your tongue out at Barney and join the other team. You just hope they don't hate you when they discover the terrible truth. You're the strikeout champ. Come on, kid, the chubby boy says. You're up. You give it your best shot. You take the bat and you step to the plate. You gaze at the pitcher, a mean-looking red-haired girl. You grip the bat tightly and wait for the pitch. Strike one, cries the umpire. You can't strike out, you think. Not with Barney's beady eyes trained on you. You concentrate on your next swing. The pitcher zooms a fastball at you. And you swing the bat. You hear the sharp crack as the bat connects with the ball. Then you watch, amazed, as the ball takes off high in the air, clear across the field. Home run, some of the kids shout. You notice Barney's mouth drop open. You don't move from the plate. You stare at the ball, continuing straight towards a house on the next block. You watch in disbelief as the ball smashes right through the enormous front window. You don't even care that you broke the window. This was your first home run ever. As you round the bases, your teammates cheer. Even Barney looks impressed. You feel great until you hear the unmistakable sound of police sirens headed your way. You glance down the street. A police car is speeding toward the ball field. Its red lights blinking at siren wails. You're in big trouble now, Barney calls. Without looking back, he dashes away. Thanks a lot, cousin. You think. He disappears into the distance. It wasn't your fault, the red-haired pitcher says. It was just a great hit. You better get out of here fast, another player suggests. You don't know what to do. You didn't mean to break the window, but the police... Will the police believe you? What will they do? Maybe you better hide until they go away. Do you wait for the police and confess? Or do you run and hide? The choice is yours, Demonoid Fisher. Confess. You've decided to tell the police what happened. The police car pulls up. 2 blue uniformed officers climb out. We'll hear about the broken window, the taller one says. Did any of you kids know who did it? The other kids look down at the ground. The red-haired pitcher scuffs her foot in the dirt. I did it, you announce, stepping forward. But it was an accident. It was my first home run. The officer studies you for a minute. How old are you, kid? She asks. You tell her and she looks surprised. You're awfully big for your age, she says. You better be careful. You don't know your own strength. I'll be careful from now on, officer, you promise. We'll let you go this time, she says, getting into the car. Since it was your first homer, she winks at you. What a relief. You watch the patrol car drive off. Come by and play tomorrow, the red-haired pitcher calls after you as the game breaks up. You return to your relative's house and you notice something very strange. The porch roof is at least 2 inches closer to your head than it was when you left. Is this really only a growth spurt, you wonder? You try to think of any possible reason you could suddenly start growing. You think back over everything you've done for the past 24 hours. You still haven't figured out an answer to what when you entered the kitchen. Dora and Barney are making sandwiches in the kitchen. You're really hungry now. Along with everything else, your appetite has also grown. But when you reach for the tuna fish, Barney stops you. You gotta go on a diet, wimp, he tells you. You're getting fat, or haven't you noticed? Dora giggles obnoxiously. You know perfectly well you're not fat. You're just big and hungry. And you remember something. You were very hungry when you were hiding in the basement. Hungry enough to eat that stale chocolate cake. Maybe there was some ingredient in the cake that is making you grow. It did taste kind of funny. Maybe you should find out what was in the cake. Maybe you'll be able to figure out how to stop growing, and you rush down the basement. You race down to the basement and open the refrigerator. The empty cake box is still sitting next to the jar of purple goop. You examine the cake box, but there's no list of ingredients, just the name of the bakery. Frustrated, you shove the box back onto the shelf. The purple peanut butter jar rattles. Then you have a crazy thought. If the cake made you grow, could the peanut butter make you shrink? It worked for Alice and Alice in Wonderland. Some food made her big, some food made her small. You might as well try. You grab the jar and take a big spoonful of the stuff and swallow it. It tastes awful. It's like a combination of Brussels sprouts and liver. You force yourself to swallow all the goop in the jar. Will you shrink? You feel an odd tingling sensation all over your body. It's working, you think. I'm getting smaller. But then something bumps your head. You glance up to see the ceiling an inch from your nose. What's going on? The refrigerator is far below you. All the furniture looks as if it belongs in a dollhouse. Somehow, you've grown another 2 feet. The purple goop didn't make you shrink at all. Instead, it made you grow even faster. You're so big now, you might not even be able to get out of the basement. You peer up the stairs. The basement door leading to the kitchen is so small. Will you be able to fit through it? You start up the stairs, hoping to make it to the top before you're too big to get through the door. Smash! Your foot crashes through the bottom step. You're just old and rickety, you tell yourself. You lift up your other foot and place it on the next step. Crash! The stairs won't work. You glance around the basement. You've got to get out before they've trapped you inside. You have to move fast. You're still growing. You notice a window. It'll be a tight squeeze, but it's your only hope. You pull open the window. You're so big now, you accidentally rip it out of the frame. Pieces of wood and glass fly everywhere. You start to climb through. You don't really fit, but you're already halfway out. You refuse to give up now. You can hear the house ripping and tearing as you push your way through. Broken pipes spurt water, torn wood scrapes your skin. At last, you fall into the lawn. You glance up to see a huge hole in the wall where the basement window used to be, and then you hear a piercing scream. Fat nightmare, I see. Good. Keyway is here. Excellent. Dora is shrieking and staring at you in horror. Dora, you say. It's me, your cousin. But you're so big she doesn't even recognize you, and you can tell you're still growing. Help, she screams. Help, it's a mutant alien. You pull yourself to your feet. Maybe if she can see all of you, she'll know who you are. As you stand, your hair brushes the treetops. Dora looks very small, standing in the yard beneath you. And now Barney runs out of the house. Call the police, Dora screams. There's a mutant alien in our backyard. Barney takes one look at you and turns white. He spins around and heads for the house. He's going to call the police. They've already been called about you once. If they come again, you'll be in so much trouble you'll never get out of it. You've got to stop Barney. But how? Do you grab him and try to explain yourself? Or do you throw something in his path, Demonoid Fissure? The choice is yours. Excellent. You explain yourself. You want to try to talk to Barney. You watch him race for the house. Stop, you shout. The sound of your voice makes the entire yard shake. You pick Barney up in your hand. He screams in terror. No, he yells. No, put me down, put me down. You've never seen him so scared before. You've never seen anyone so scared before. He really thinks you're a mutant alien. Please, he repeats, sobbing. I'll do anything you say. Just don't hurt me. Your face is too big for him to recognize. Barney has always been so nasty to you. They can't resist scaring him a little more. You lift him even higher until his toes dangle above the treetops. He kicks and screams even louder. Put me down, he yells. Please put me down. Not yet, you thunder. Then you bring him squirming and crying level with your face. You puny human. You tell him, I could smash you like a bug in a second, but I'll let you live on one condition. What's the condition? Barney sobs. I'll do anything you say, anything at all. First, you say, you have to promise not to call the police. I promise. Barney cries. You must also promise that from now on you'll be nice to your cousin. You'll share your bike and all your toys, and you'll never pound anyone ever again. I promise, Barney gulps. Very well, you announce. You may live. You prepare to set him down when your whole body suddenly begins to feel warm. It feels as if... Uh-oh. What's happening? The warm feeling spreads through your whole body. Your muscles tingle, and the ground starts shaking. You hear a low rumbling sound. Now the tree branches begin to whip past your face. You glance up to see that the trees are once again over your head. The growth formula has finally worn off. You're back to your normal size. Unfortunately, your hands are still gripping Barney's shoulders. Barney's mouth and eyes are wide open. He looks as if he's in shock. As soon as you let go, he glares at you. He's angrier and meaner looking than you've ever seen him. You, Barney shouts. The alien was just shrimpy, stupid you? You take a baby step backward. Barney, you begin. He doesn't let you finish. What was that about a promise, wimp? He snarls. Nothing, you reply. Starting to back away faster. How's this for a promise, cuz? He sneers. I promised to pound you. You're glad to be small again, but you wish the formula had lasted just a little bit longer. At least long enough to have escaped from Barney. Oh well. It looks like your chance to get even with Barney has come to an end. And thus concludes Demonoid Fisher's Tale of Terror. Demonoid Fisher, what is the moral of this story? Do as you please, but be honest about it. Life opens doors for you. I don't know. Terrifying. I learned to consume everything. Excellent. Kiwi, it's your turn. That is indeed the moral of the story. Alright, Kiwi. Open the third stomach chakra for this week. What is it? Nobody knows. Maybe there isn't a moral. Sometimes stories are just stories. Alright, Kiwi. As we prep our latest victim, I mean, youthful soul. Welcome to Camp Running Leaf, Kiwi. It's the sports camp of your dreams, but this place is weird. The coaches are slave drivers, the campers act like little robots, and the food, well, let's just say it's nothing to write home about. The activities sound cool though. You can camp overnight and look for bones in Zombie Cove. Coach says you could win a medal or become one of the Walking Dead. Ah, he was just kidding about the dead part. Wasn't he? Or you can complete in the selection. It's an awesome obstacle course with stuff like water jumps. Only hold on. Why is that water squirming? You're in control. Excuse me. I'll lurk. I'll be right back. Thank you for the stories. Indeed. Indeed. Thank you, Demonite Fisher, for joining us tonight. You're in control of this scary adventure. You decide what will happen and how terrifying the scares will be. You make the choices. Make the right choice, you'll have the summer of your dreams, Kiwi. Make the wrong choice, and it's camper beware. So take a deep breath, cross your fingers, and prepare to give yourself goosebumps. All right, you say to yourself, Kiwi. 10 minutes ago, it looked as if you were facing another boring day at home. All of the kids in your neighborhood are away at summer camp, all but you. Your parents decided to take you on a family vacation instead, to your grandparents' farm. Boring. But your mom and dad just got an urgent call to join a dig for dinosaur bones in Mongolia. They're leaving in the morning. We'll be away for a month, your mom says. Sorry, sweetie. We'll have to send you to Camp Pendleton after all. I guess I'll live, you reply, hiding your grin. Yes! Pendleton is a sports camp. You love sports. You wanted to go to Camp Pendleton ever since your Uncle Ed told you about it. It's got the latest equipment, the best coaches. You quickly call Uncle Ed with the good news. He promises to take care of all the arrangements. He'll even drive you there. The next morning, Uncle Ed arrives. Your parents are rushing around, getting ready to leave. They kiss you goodbye and remind you to be careful. Don't worry about me, you say. What could go wrong? Nothing, right? Ha! I'm psyched, you say, Kiwi, as you slide into Uncle Ed's station wagon. You're going to have a great time, Uncle Ed declares. Your uncle usually doesn't talk much about himself. You aren't even sure what he does for a living, but you do know he likes sports. That's what you talk about on the way to Camp Pendleton. Only it's taking forever to get there. It's out in the boondocks. All the roads here look the same. You stop for a snack. Uncle Ed makes a quick phone call. He starts the car again. He pulls out on the road, going in the wrong direction. Uncle Ed, you say, Kiwi, I think you're going the wrong way. Nah, Uncle Ed says. I've got a great sense of direction. Spot an old man in front of a lone house in the woods. Pull over, Uncle Ed, you urge. Let's ask. Sports camp, the old man frowns. There's a camp about a mile away. He gives Uncle Ed instructions to get there. If you pass the gas station, you'll know you've gone too far. See, I told you I knew where I was going, Uncle Ed says. A minute later, Uncle Ed turns down a dirt road. He pulls up to a military-looking gatehouse. A big sign says, Welcome to Camp Running Leaf. Huh? Where's Camp Pendleton? You cry. Kiwi. Uncle Ed only shrugs. He doesn't seem very upset. A beefy guy with a crew cut, a white shirt, and a whistle around his neck approaches your car. I'm Coach Rex, he says. Are you a new camper? No, I'm looking for Camp Pendleton, you say, Kiwi. Coach Rex clears his throat. This was Camp Pendleton. New owner just took over and changed the name to Running Leaf. So, everything is okay, right? You say goodbye to Uncle Ed. He shakes hands with Coach Rex. Work this youngster hard, he orders. Oh, I'm a slave driver, Coach Rex answers with a chuckle. Coach Rex and Uncle Ed laugh like two old friends. Coach Rex leads you to a cabin. He points to an empty bunk and drop your stuff on it. Think you're a hotshot athlete, he shouts. Surprised, you stutter. No, I just like sports, you say, Kiwi. Coach Rex barks. We don't put up with wimps here. He gives you the once-over. You don't look very strong. You thought you were in pretty decent shape, but let's arm wrestle, Coach Rex demands. What's his problem? He seemed so friendly a minute ago. You sit at the opposite side of the table. Coach Rex pins your arm in an instant. He looks disappointed. Kid, you don't have what it takes, he announces. But you will. And soon. It sounds more like a threat than a promise. Suddenly, Coach Rex brightens. The first thing for you to do is choose one of the two events to take part in. One event is an overnight hike, fossil hunt in the woods around the camp. You love camping out. Sounds cool. The other event is called the Selection. It's a series of athletic events. The winner gets a special prize. So which you're gonna choose, Kiwi? You want to go hiking or do you want to participate in the Selection? The choice is yours. Let's get the special prize. Oh yeah. I'll do the Selection. You tell Coach Rex, Kiwi. Coach Rex smiles. Good. Maybe you'll go far after all. And I mean far. He starts chuckling as if he's made a big joke. You laugh politely. Now the coach gets serious. The Selection is tough. If you're gonna win, he says, you need strength. That means a big breakfast. Come on down to the chow hall. The coach takes you to a big cafeteria where the other kids are eating breakfast. Everyone stares at you when you walk in. Then they go back to their breakfasts. Each kid has a big pile of eggs. They quickly scarf down their food. No one's talking much. You notice a mountain bike and a glass case on the wall. It's top of the line. It's a brand new, too. Sunlight gleams on its blue carbon fiber frame. It must be the special prize for winning Selection, you think. Cool. Now you really want to win. You get your first pile of eggs, topped by toast. As you search for an empty seat, you see someone you know from home. Hey, Pat, you exclaim. You sit down next to a thin, fast-talking kid. He lives a few blocks from you. You're glad to see a familiar face. Hi, Pat answers. I just got here a couple of days ago. Most of the kids have already been here a few weeks. He hasn't touched his eggs. He doesn't tell you. I'm not hungry. He noticed he looks kind of sick. He's pale. His eyes have dark circles under them. Well, I'm starved, you announce, Kiwi. You plunge your fork into the eggs and lift them up to your mouth. Your hand suddenly freezes. Whoa! The egg yolks are blue. Your mouth snaps shut. What's with the blue eggs? You demand. Just then, a voice comes over the loudspeaker. It's Coach Rex. Eat up, campers. The selection is coming, and your eggs are packed with protein that you need. You ask Pat, are you going to eat your eggs? He shakes his head. No way. He picks up a piece of toast, nibbles on it. You eye your eggs. You don't normally eat blue food, except blue M&Ms, of course. Who doesn't eat blue M&Ms? You don't want to act differently from everyone else, especially on your first day. Blue eggs? Should you eat them? Get rid of them? Or use them to start a food fight? You eat the eggs, or do you hide them in your napkin, Kiwi? The choice is yours. Eat it with catsup. Uh-oh. Just continue. You eat the eggs with catsup. You bring the fork to your mouth. Your lips close around the eggs. Wait a minute. Let's review the facts. Those eggs are blue. Now, get serious. You should know better. Never eat blue eggs. And any story. Okay. This is your first time. It's an honest mistake. But the rest of you should be ashamed of yourself. So you spit those eggs out. And you end up hiding them in your napkin. You check to make sure no one is looking. Then you casually put your napkin on top of your eggs. Fold them inside and slip it under the table. Oh no, the runs. A second later, you hear a voice behind you. I saw that. You freeze. It's Coach Rex. Rex points at another camper and barks. You spit out your eggs. Don't let it happen again. The camper, a tough-looking kid with a black buzz cut, nods. You let out a sigh of relief as Rex walks away. He doesn't see you hide the eggs. Who's the guy who didn't eat the eggs? You ask Pat. His name's Brad, Pat answers. Do 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 do. A bugle blows reveille outside. The campers rise as one and march to the door in neat files. No one talks. No horseplay. You know what I can call Camp Running Leaf? Pat whispers to you. Camp Run for Your Life. You grin at his joke. Pat doesn't smile back. Outside, Coach Rex announces, fun time is over. He stares at the campers. You've eaten your eggs? You should be ready. The selection is about to begin. And remember, the winner gets a very special prize. Rex checks his watch. All athletes who think they are worthy of it report to the stadium right now. You're not going to do it, are you? Pat whispers. Of course I am, you say, Kiwi. You practically drool, thinking of the new mountain bike gleaming in the cafeteria. Coach Rex claps his hands. Let's go! You join the eerily silent stream of campers heading for the stadium. The other campers may be stronger, but you want the bike more than they do. The coaches are waiting for you at one end of the field. Listen up, people, Coach Rex bellows. The selection runs like this. The athlete with the most points at the end gets the special prize. For the first event, you can choose between hurdles and swimming. What are you good at? You want to jump hurdles, or would you rather go swimming? Choice is yours, Kiwi. Got them strong arms and them strong legs. I can't swim, so the hurdles it is. I want to do the hurdles, you tell Pat. Me too, he agrees. I hate swimming. You follow Coach Rex to the track. You and Pat line up with the other kids. Coach Rex points to a starter pistol in the air. Runners, on your mark. Get set. You set your hands in the dirt, then you glance up to check out the hurdles. You can't believe your eyes. The first hurdle's higher than your waist. Its two legs are tipped with gleaming swords and the crossbar is a weird-looking rusty saw. If you land on that, you've had it. Pat gulps. Oh no. Bang! The runners take off. You and Pat take off too, but in the other direction. You're not about to jump over those deadly hurdles. Come back here, Coach Rex roars. You spy a small door near the edge of the stadium. Come on, you cry to Pat. Let's get out of here. You and Pat dash through the little door and slam it behind you. Something's really wrong with this camp. You pant. No kidding. Pat shoots back. The blue eggs. The brainwashed campers. The crazy events they make us do. It's all very suspicious. You peer around. You're at the mouth of a dark tunnel-like hall. It slopes downhill. It's lined with huge pipes. I bet this is an old heating system for the camp, Pat says. If we keep going, maybe it'll connect to another building. And let's bounce, you say impatiently. You move cautiously through the darkness. You pass an opening on the left. You think about exploring it, but then you notice the moldy smell seeping out. You'll pass, you think. Finally, the tunnel ends at a middle door. Light comes through a small window set high in the door. On tiptoes, you and Pat peer through the window. It's the kitchen, Pat whispers. Workers scurry in and out through the swinging doors in the far wall. Two cooks in an apron bustle back and forth among bubbling vats and giant grills. That stuff in the vat, it's blue, just like the eggs, you point out. The blue liquid is poured over some freshly broken eggs. The cooks fry them on the grill. One of the cooks stops to fan himself. He glances around as if he's making sure no one is looking. Then he picks up a spray bottle and sprays himself. Huh? His face. It's melting. No, you realize. What you thought was his face is actually a thick layer of stage makeup. But that's nothing compared to what you see underneath. His skin is tinted blue. His eyes are golden. He has no nose. There's a small round hole in the top of his head. He's not human, Pat gasps. You can't believe it. You don't know whether the kitchen worker is a space alien or some kind of weird mutant. All you know is you're having a close encounter of the weird kind. Whoa, I'm out of here, you say, Kiwi. Pat stops you. There's nowhere to go. Let's wait until the cooks take a break, then we'll slip out through the kitchen. I bet those swinging doors lead outside. You're about to okay his plan, but then you remember. Wasn't there a turnoff in the tunnel? Should you wait until the coast is clear in the kitchen? Or should you go back down the tunnel and take the turnoff? What do you do, Kiwi? Through the kitchen or back down the tunnel? The choice is yours. Spooky. Back to the tunnels. See if the aliens are behind the door. Exactly. Back to the tunnels. Or see if the aliens are behind the door. The choice is yours. Tick tock, tick tock. To the tunnels it is. Let's go back down the tunnel, you whispered to Pat Kiwi. It's too risky to go through the kitchen. There was a turnoff a little way back. Let's see where it goes. I didn't like it in the tunnel, Pat whined. I'd rather go through the kitchen. You think for a moment, okay. Let me check out the turnoff. If I find a way out, I'll come back for you, you say, Kiwi. You head back down the tunnel. As the turnoff, you enter a drain pipe. Water sloshes around your sneakers. The air stinks. Soon the main pipe breaks into two smaller pipes, much smaller. You enter the right-hand pipe on your hands and knees. Suddenly, a strong rush of water knocks you down. Help! You shout, Kiwi. Your cry ends in a gurgle as you're sucked underwater. You barrel on down the pipe. Where will you come out? Sploosh! The pipe empties you into a river. You gasp and splash, trying to keep your head above water. After a few minutes, you manage to swim to shore. You climb an embankment and scramble onto a bridge by some railroad tracks. A train whistle blows. You move off the tracks and wait. A minute later, a freight train rumbling by. The train is moving slowly. You grab onto a ladder and hurl yourself into an empty boxcar. You lean against a wall, dazed. The rocking of the car lulls you. Your eyes feel heavy. Your chin falls to your chest. The sound of someone clearing his throat wakes you up. When you open your eyes, oh no. A tall, stern police officer is standing over you, scowling. You try to explain about Camp Run for your life, but the cop takes you to the station house anyway. A bearded man is talking to the dark sergeant. Hey, Ruthie, the cop who arrested you calls. You gotta hear this kid's story. Go on, kid. Tell the desk sergeant. So you tell your story to the desk sergeant. You notice what the bearded man is listening closely. When you're done, the desk sergeant rolls her eyes. This kid is nuts, she declares. Are you kidding? The guy with the beard splitters. That's the best story I've ever heard. He jumps up and approaches you. Kid, my name is Vincent Vielberg. I make movies, and I'd like to buy your story. A few months later, the movie version of Escape from Camp Run for Your Life hits the screens. It's the biggest hit in history. You become the richest kid in America. You decide to use the money to start your own camp. You've even got the perfect name for it. Camp Run to the Bank. The end. We got one! That's a gold star. You've earned it, Kiwi. Man, the dude was loaded in cash at the end. Hell yeah. Kiwi. Our first, well, technically our second survivor, but a good ending nonetheless. Indeed. 4 tales of terror, but one magical ending. Consider yourself lucky. Perhaps you won't be so lucky next time. Ah, hell yeah. Scary stories to tell in the dark. Jumping over knives. Yeah, no. Indeed. Indeed. Jumping over knives and going to the kitchen with alien zombie people. That's a keyway. Don't. If we went to the kitchen, they would have ate me. Most likely. We'll never know. And perhaps that's for the best. The blue eggs. Blue eggs and ham. Indeed, the blue eggs and ham. Must always watch out for the blue eggs and ham. And yes, I think we've spun 2 twisted tales tonight. Before bed, another glorious chapter of reading Eggo, my humble abode. As everyone works on preparing turkeys and stuffings, maybe green eggs and ham. Just remember, blue eggs and ham, stale chocolate cake, purple goop. If you see it at your dinner table this Thursday, maybe it's better to just leave that house. Cautionary tale. George Orwell. But yes, let's see, how long have I been streaming? Oh yes, a good almost 5 hours. Perfect. I think we will end our Tales of Terror here. Well, we have 2. A lukewarm ending and definitely a happy ending. Kiwi is the chosen one. But I will return tomorrow night for yet another stream for Thanksgiving week. Thank you for streaming. Thank you, Demon Knight Feasure, for stopping by. And your tale of being grand and large and in charge. In Kiwi, we're going to her camp and making a clean gajillion dollars with Vincent Filmberg's super blockbuster #1 hit movie, Laugh and Grow Fat. That's the moral of my story. Yes. Laugh and grow fat. Eat and forget. Eat and forget. Is the moral of the story. A glorious moral it is. But yes, I will be back tomorrow night for a beat 'em up stream featuring myself, Dim Kira, my mug brother, and anyone who happens to have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I'm going to see if it's cross-play. I believe it's a 6-player brawler, side-scrolling beat 'em up. But I open the invitation up to anyone who has the game and is willing to join me. If it has crossplay, I'm gonna configure that. Otherwise, if you have a PlayStation, 4 or 5 should work. You can join me up with my turtles and my compadres as we clean up the streets of New York City. Just in time for Thanksgiving. Otherwise, that's all I have tonight. Huge shout out to both Demonoid Fissure, Keyway for being our volunteers tonight, our tributes, so to speak, and our tales of terror. Reading Eggo will return at a non-specified date, but as well as huge shout outs to Team Puffins, Death Chill Creep, Nothing, my moderator, as well as Dim Kira, Yen Boy, and Sky Sprout, and Ark Boba Fett, and anyone else who stopped by for some Marvel Snap drops and for a Reading Eggo bedtime story. So, until then, I'll see everyone tomorrow night, Wednesday night, maybe even Thursday night, it depends, and possibly on the weekend. Friday I will be busy, so possible streams all this week for Thanksgiving, but I hope to see everyone who's able to join in on the shenanigans. Until then, of course, I just want to say, everyone, thank you again for your viewership and support. It never goes unnoticed or taken for granted, so thank you again for hanging out with me and participating in our chat, and our twisted tales. There will be more to come, rest assured. But on that note, it's time for what my #1 mod, who used to have a dad bod, Tim Kira, calls the Truman Show outro. So, to everyone hanging out, I just want to say, no matter where you're watching from, I hope you all have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and good night. I'm Eggo, the visual culturist, signing out. And I will see you all tomorrow. So until then, take care, stream. Take care, Demonoid Fissure, Keyway, everyone else. See you all hopefully tomorrow. Until then, I bid you all farewell.